I'm a learner for real, like not just schoolwork. Like I just pay attention to everything.
We're often given this advice, like do what you love.
Yeah.
Like what am I supposed to do with that?
Yes.
Focus on learning instead of earning. And that sounds cliche, but I'll explain why.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believing life. Out here living that believing life. Every day we living that believing life. Hustle like we're living that believing life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believing life, oh. That believing life, oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you as well. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn the best advice for college graduates. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule #1. Don't be average with Eric Thomas.
I'm a learner for real, like not just schoolwork. Like I just pay attention to everything. So I'm in Dubai and we did the podcast, but I didn't bring my computer with me because I promised my wife that it wasn't gonna be that kind of trip, right? So I'm like, if I bring my computer though, she gonna think it's gonna be that kind of trip, right? And we're gonna end up getting into it, right? So my wife was like, we're going to Dubai, we're going 2 weeks, you ain't doing no work. I'm like, bet, I got you, no computer. So I brought my little recorder though to do the podcast, and it's got like a SIM card like in it. And then you got to take that card, put that in the computer, and then you send it, right? So I was like, some kind of way, this Dubai, I heard about Dubai, it's supposed to be all that in a bag of chips. They got to have an Apple store. You feel me? Somebody got an Apple store somewhere, and I can just go and take that joint, put it in the Apple store. I got to the biggest mall in the world, and they don't got an Apple store. It's like a supplier kind, so it ain't the real deal. So I put my joint in there, right? And what was the problem? Like it fit, everything worked, but what was the problem with the store I was in?
Language is different.
Say it again?
No connection.
Okay, yep, but a connection, but what kind? No, it was a connection, internet connection, but it was what? It was weak. So I was sitting there for like 40 minutes. It was like 3%. I'm like, this ain't gonna work. My girl like, I thought we weren't going, you gonna want me, you doing no work. You were here for 40 minutes. I'm like, oh, this, okay, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, abandon ship, abort that boy. So we get back to the hotel and she fall asleep. I'm like, boom, here we go right here. Here we go right here. This is the time, here go my time right here, go my shot. So I go to the concierge like, bro, I need to, and listen to me, this is why I tell y'all for real, like, you can't be average and think you're gonna make your dreams become a reality and you're gonna be paid and you're gonna live life happy. It don't work like that. So I go to the first girl and she tell me what? When I tell her I got the SIM boy and I need you to put it in the computer, do y'all got a hookup? She told me what? Yeah, she spoke the language, like she was struggling a little bit, but she told me what? She said, no, we don't know how. I'm like, all right. I go to the next young lady, she told me what? She can't do it. Now these were the two people, listen to me carefully. These were the two people who worked behind the desk. My man came out, my man was sitting on the side with a suit on. You thinking people just get jobs because they get jobs, right? That's what you thinking, right? But I went to the first person, she told me no. I went to the second girl, she told me no. My man with the suit on the back looking suave. My man said, what you need? I love it. Like, that's why my man getting paid more than they getting paid. Listen to me very closely. When you graduate and you get a job, if you want to get paid, you never say no. You never say it can't get done. Don't you ever say out your mouth it can't get done. Even if you feel in your heart it can't get done, you don't say it out loud. You let the broke folks say that. You let the folks they firing first say that. You always say it can get done. Even if you don't think it can get done, just say it and try to make up something. I'm being real. I'm being real. I don't deal with people who say, or they get paid real low in my company. They like maintenance when you say, I don't know how, or I don't think it can be done. I'm like, okay, cool. You won't be like at the end of the year when bonus is getting passed out, you won't be getting no bonus. My man was in the corner like, yo, what you need? First of all, in his mind, he like, if he in this room, it's paper. If my man in this room with us, he must got paper. We're not trying to disappoint him because if we disappoint him, when he come back to Dubai, he might not want to stay in this hotel. So my man is smart. My man like, I'm going to keep him as a customer because I want to keep my job. I said, I need a car. He said, what's going on? I said, I got a car, just want to. He said, oh, don't even worry about it. Like, if you go downstairs. I'm like, what in the world? He like, yo, if you go downstairs, there's a restaurant called something Sea Fire or something. And if you go turn right there, there's a store. And if you go in that store, they got a card reader. I'm like, what? That ain't even my man. Like, that ain't even my man's job. Like, that's not even a part. My man work upstairs. Like, when you first come in the hotel, you know all the store. My man knew all the store. Okay, so you're gonna see like a whole bunch of sharks, and you're gonna see. Okay, that's the aquarium. So bust that right there. I'm like, all right, let me write all this down. All right, then you're gonna see the restaurant right there. As soon as you get to the restaurant, it's a dead end. Bust another right. It's 2 stores. One store is gonna be like the Azad store. You pass that store, and then you'll see the computers, and you go in and holler at my man. I'm like, bet. My wife, I'm like, boom, let's go. She gonna sleep for an hour. You got an hour. Let's get it.
Rule number 2, live your life on purpose with Simon Sinek.
I was living in London and attending law school. I was becoming disillusioned with the law. I happened to be dating a girl who was in advertising. She said, you might like advertising, and boom, I have a career in marketing. Like, I fell into it. So many of us fall into our careers and fall into our jobs. And even if we do pursue something we want to do, sometimes it takes diversions, right? This is what I mean by living our lives by accident, which is we largely leave the direction of our careers and sometimes even our own happiness to others, our bosses, and all of that thing. So what it means to live your life on purpose means you understand the direction you're heading, but you remain agnostic as to the route. Most people try very, very hard to plan the route. In other words, what's your plan? People say, well, first I'm going to work here for 3 years, then I'm going to quit and I'm going to do this, and then for 4 years, they got the route planned. And the question is, where are you going, right? And that to me is what it means to have purpose. It means to have destination, right? It's like waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going on holiday. And somebody says, well, where are you going? I said, I'm going on vacation, I told you. You're like, where are you going? Vacation, right? And so how are you going to get there? You're like, well, I'm taking Route 95. So you've got the route planned, but you have no destination. And you see this in companies all the time. Why does your company exist? Growth. Great. Why are you growing? Why do you need to grow? What does growth mean? Because we're a company, we have to grow. And so they figure out all of these paths for growth, but they don't know where they're going. I would rather someone wake up in the morning and say, California. I'm trying to get to California, and I don't care what route I take. I'm going to start down Route 95, and if I find a better route, I'm going to take it. If there's traffic on Route 95, I'm going to take a side road. So this is what happened in my career. People kept telling me that I was unfocused because I kept taking side roads. I wasn't unfocused. I was going around obstacles. So that's what it means to live a life of purpose. It means I live every single day of my life trying to get to an endpoint. In my case, to create a world in which the vast majority of people wake up every single morning inspired to go to work, feel safe when they're there, and return home at the end of the day fulfilled by the work that they do. That is the destination I'm trying to reach. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to try every path I can to get there. Highly, highly focused. That's what it means to live a life on purpose. We're often given this advice, like, do what you love.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yes.
Like, find your passion. Like, thank you. Like, great. I don't know what to do tomorrow. For me, passion is the result of something. Right? So if you work hard for something you don't believe in, that's called stress. And if you work hard for something you do believe in, that's called passion. So it's finding the belief, it's finding the cause, it's finding the purpose, and the passion then shows up. So it's not about doing something with passion and then finding the cause. It's finding the cause, starting with why, and then the passion is what results.
Also, if you want to have more confidence and self-love, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join on the description below.
You have to explain why you're the right person to lead. And above all, you have to know your numbers.
Freshman year in college, me and my boys start this Christian organization.
In a success world, please understand that success is happiness, not net dollars in.
Rule number 3, learn before you earn with Tim Ferriss.
What would my advice be to a driven and intelligent college student or young person about to enter the real world? Well, it would be very simple. It would be focus on learning instead of earning. And that sounds cliche, but I'll explain why. Because if you want to make, say, $1 million a year, $10 million a year instead of $100,000 a year, I would argue you probably don't want to take the $100,000 per year job, even if it's offered to you right out of the gate. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but What I'm going to recommend is not limited to finances. You want to focus on projects, on companies, on environments where you can learn lessons on someone else's bankroll, all right? So let them pay for it, and view it effectively as an apprenticeship. So find a situation where you can be in the room with masters of a craft. And that could just be deal making. It could be joining a small company, say fewer than 50 people, where you simply get to observe one of the principals negotiating in an industry that you don't even care anything about, right? It could be waste management and you want to go into high tech, but if you sit in a room with someone who's an absolute pro at crafting deals, negotiating, getting past no, those skills and maybe those relationships start to snowball. All right, and this is what Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, would call systems thinking. So instead of being wedded to the outcome of a given job, you are accumulating skills and relationships that transcend that job. Okay, and if you choose your environments well, because as I've said before, and as people like Drew, the CEO of Dropbox, who's a friend, have said, you're the average of the 5 people you associate with most. All right, so if you take just a few years, have the patience, a few years to really develop core competencies that allow you to craft your own reality and life, negotiation, deal making, getting past no, etc., learning how to pitch, how to get someone's attention in 30 seconds so that you can then create the desire and ultimately ask for some type of action. Once you develop those, then you can really just create the map for the next decade and the next several decades. So that would be it. It would be learn before you earn, and it's never too late to do that. So I don't care if you're coming out of college, coming out of high school, 30, 40, whatever it is. Systems thinking, focus on the skills and relationships first, and then you can just create a blank check for how much money you want to make, if that is your goal.
Rule number 4, take risks with Gary Vaynerchuk.
I'm not sure anybody is taking enough risk from 20 to 30. Yeah. It is the most interesting thing that I've been thinking about, which is it is never more practical to be disproportionately risky than from 22 to 30, yet everybody goes the other way because now they're the real world and it's time to prove something to their parents, to themselves, to everybody else, and everybody goes conservative. It is a huge mistake. We need to flip it upside down. Everybody should go ham from 22 to 30 and do a ton of ridiculous shit and figure themselves out. But on your own dime, not your parents.
There's the parents clapping.
So how I think about it is you should go and be rogue and get to know yourself and taste from 22 to 30, but you have to live by the ramifications of doing that. And the cost of entry of that is living with 4 people in a studio apartment, eating dog food and not having fancy shit. When you go and do that, but you're being subsidized by your parents, then you're living in a fake environment and you're super.
And rule number 5, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is work for yourself with Kevin O'Leary.
I was working once at an ice cream parlor when I was about 15 years old, my first real job. And on the second day, I was asked to scrape the gum off between the Mexican tiles on the floor. And I said to the woman who owned the store, it was called Magoo's Ice Cream Parlor, you didn't hire me to scrape gum, you hired me to scoop ice cream. And there's this girl in the shoe store across the way that's looking at me. I don't want her to see me scraping the gum. And she said, what are you talking about? I own this store. I'll do anything I want with you. Get down on your knees and scrape that gum. And I said, I'm not doing it. She said, you're fired. Last job I ever had. I owe that woman everything. I don't like to work for people. Many of you in here, I hope, inherit that. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you want to control your own destiny, you work for yourself. That's how it works. I'm trying to inspire those of you who are on the tipping point. Take the chance, you're young. Go for it. There's nothing better than being able to wake up in the morning, 10 years or 20 years from now and do whatever you like. It's about freedom. That's what matters. I'm not saying being an employee is bad, but believe me, being an entrepreneur is better. I'm a little biased.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Michael Bloomberg on how to choose development over money that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Time to go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. What is the risk that you need to take that if you don't, you'll regret? Number 2, what does living a life on purpose look like for you? And number 3, where do you need to stop being average? And if you made it this far in the video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
When you weigh a job offer, my message to you is, even later in life, when you're considering a career change, leave salary out of the equation. Make decisions based on the quality of the opportunity and where you will have the most fun and the most room for growth. What's important for your career is not your starting salary. It's your development and happiness, and the cash will come later on.
If you want to know why traditional education is failing us, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
This is the first time in history that people who were born poor could be rich. First time in history.